is a matter of 1 or 2 minutes that you can take it out of 1 hour. If not the whole speech, at least 2 hours, 2 minutes from that speech. And that little matter, maybe Quranic ayat, maybe translation of ayat, maybe hadith, maybe translation of hadith. Take it, and every majlis, if increases in your knowledge, if you have 50 majalis, for example, in Muharram Safar, so you have 50 points with you, extra points that you had before. But now, and this is the blessing of this, these sessions of Muharram and Safar, that even our children who really sit and pay attention and learn in majalis, they are very strong, alhamdulillah, in their faith. And they can talk to anybody about their faith. They can prove their point of view. And they have evidence. Why? Because they learn it from majalis. And ulama, when they come, of course, they study and study hours and hours and hours and give you a brief of their studies in just 1 hour or less. So this is all blessings of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam. But when we are in Muharram and Safar during these 2 months, and the environment is environment of grief and mourning and aza, keep in mind that our aza is not out of pity, na'udhu billah, on Imam Hussein alayhi salam, that we have some pity on him, there are so many pitiable people that might have pity on them. It's not about pity, it is about understanding. I give you an ayah. I don't know if I have read this ayat for you, I don't remember, but this is something amazing. Every year, if you remember, every year I speak on a surah. I take a surah and discuss the theme of the surah in my whole majalis in these 2 months. Also, it is good for me too, because so many things I discovered really new from Quran. Amazing things, amazing, really amazing. One of them that I came across while I was reading these majalis and doing my research in Surah Tawbah. So this year it was Surah Tawbah. I found out that Surah Tawbah, I can read at least 10 ashra, means 100 majalis, and still I cannot cover the whole subjects of this surah. It's so amazing surah. It has 129 verses, 129. Each verse is amazing. So for example, I give you this one. Ayat number 92. 92. Remember it and read it. You will be amazed. This ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first, if you see before this ayah, the whole surah actually is talking about munafiqeen. And especially, there was a battle called Tabuk, which never happened. No fighting took place. But it is called Ghuzwa Tabuk. And the largest army that the Prophet gathered was this Tabuk. And this was the last Ghuzwa. Ghuzwa means last battle, as I said, which never took place because it has history. I cannot give you all the details here. But very interesting. Read Surah Tawbah. And many aspects, and can clear so many issues that people might have, Muslims especially. Nowadays, for example, in Pakistan, you see they have a bill and they are debating on that bill. You will find all the answers here in this surah. Surah will tell you that what should all Muslims do together, no fighting. no Shia, no Sunni. Come to Quran, be a Muslim, and listen what Quran is telling you to do. Quran is giving us 3 categories of Sahaba. Not me, not you, and this is the law. Quran is giving us the law. Now you want to make a law, you cannot make a law against Quranic laws. Because we have to follow Quran, not your law, right? We'll follow Quran. What Quran is saying about Sahaba, we say whatever Quran said about Sahaba. Don't say anything else. No, it's not allowed. But you cannot stop someone reading Quranic ayat. If you make a law which stops people from reading Quranic ayat, it's the trouble, right? It's a problem for you, Muslims. So very interesting. Inshallah, I might discuss this later someday. Very strong evidences, but this ayat, very quick, ayat number 92. See how interesting is this. So many ayat revealed when the Prophet was encouraging people to be part of this initiative to go, because Roman armies had entered Islamic territories in Tabuk. So the Prophet said, let's go and stop them from coming forward and advancing towards Medina, which is the center of Islam. It was a very critical situation. 30,000 people from Medina under the leadership of Rasulullah, they left for Tabuk. And many ayat were revealed in condemnation of the people who did not join this army. Strong words. Until, you see the words, you cannot even imagine. Nobody can imagine. If I say, okay, imagine what word may Allah might have used for those people who didn't join. You might say, he said kafir. No. He said mushrik. No. He said munafiq. No. Then what? Is there any word worse than these words? Stronger than these? Yes. Allah said they are rich. What did Allah said? فَأَعْرِضُ عَنْهُمْ إِنَّهُمْ rich. They are rich. They are filth. They are najasat. They are themselves embodiment of najasat. Strong word. Even stronger than this, Allah said, O Prophet, even if you ask forgiveness for them 70 times, 70 مرة لن يغفر الله لهم. Allah will not forgive them. 70 times. The Prophet is saying, oh, Allah forgive them. No, I will not forgive them. So with this strong statements in Surah Tawbah, Allah now giving exception. See, the people who remained in Medina, they didn't join this army for Tabuk, and it was 1 year before, Payghambar and the Prophet left this world. So Allah said, except few people. 2 ayat of exception. 1 ayat, 92, is exception. All these strong words not for these people. Rather, Allah is praising this group of people who did not go. Allah is praising them. Ya Allah, you are condemning the people with those strong words who didn't go. Among them, some people that Allah is praising, although they also didn't go. Who are they? You read 92, okay? Remember it. Memorize it, so you can talk to anybody in this world. These, especially mullahs who don't speak about Ahlul Bayt in Muharram and Safar in their khutbahs. As I said last week, if you remember, this year Ashura was on Friday. And in masajid of Muslims and these mullahs were talking about Ashura. What? Ashura is very significant day, it's very important day, it is very blessed day. They never talked about Imam Hussein. Go online and check Khutbah Juma and give that date. You will, very little number of ulama maybe, we're talking about Imam Hussein. Until when you can deceive people? This is the world of knowledge. So in this ayat, Allah said, I condemn all munafiqeen who did not go for Tabuk except وَلَا عَلَى الَّذِينَ إِذَا مَا أَتَوْكَ لِتَحْمِلَهُمْ قُلْتَ لَا أَجِدُ مَا أَحْمِلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ. Except those people who came to you and they requested you for a ride and said, can you give us some ride? We want to be with you. قُلْتَ, you said, لَا أَجِدُ مَا أَحْمِلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ. I don't have any ride for you. I cannot give you a ride because we don't have any. تَوَلَّوْا, they went back. They returned. تَوَلَّوْا, they returned. وَأَعْيُنُهُمْ تَفِيضُ مِنَ الدَّمْعِ, and they were crying. Their eyes were flowing. Tafid means flow, flowing with tears. They were crying. لا أحملكم عليه. Why? حزنا, with grief. The word hazan. Why you cry in Muharram and Safar? Huzn, right? Hazan and huzn. Hazanan. Why they were so sad? Because Allah yajidu ma yunfiqun. They had no chance to go to spend some money or buy a horse or a camel on a ride so they can go and join the Prophet. So for some genuine reasons and excuses, they were not able to join the Prophet. They were not able to join the Prophet. Then what happened? They were still crying and going back while crying. Quran is praising them, praise those who are crying out of grief, but with wish that they were with the Prophet. And while he was coming back, Rasulullah addressed people and said, you know what, you have left in Medina some people who all the time were with you. This is in Bukhari and this is in all authentic books and all tafasir. You can find it easily on the internet. They were all the time with you. قالوا وكيف يكونون معنا وهم بالمدينة. Ya Rasulullah, how can they be with us although they are in Medina? We know that they are in Medina. They were not with us. No, they were with you. How? He said, حبسهم العذر, because they had a genuine reason that became the obstacle in their wish to be fulfilled to come with us. They wish to come with us, but they could not. Since they were wishing to come with us and they're crying out of wish, they were with us. This is what Quran. This is what Rasulullah said, and this ayah. Go and read the translation and the tafsir of this ayah. It's amazing. It means a person who cannot join someone in any battle against evil, a leadership that is standing against evil, and somebody for any genuine reason was not able to join. If he has the wish, he was with them. He is with them. Although you are. So we, alhamdulillah, if we cry with this wish, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum, we are with Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We are, according to Quran, ayat number 92. Read it, apply it on this. So we cry. Ask us, why are you crying? When those people were crying, the munafiqeen were asking them, why are you crying? They said, because we could not go to, with Prophet. So what? Why should you cry? Even he could not go. We also could not go. We're not crying. They said, because you have no love to Rasulullah. I'm crying because I love Rasulullah. Exactly the same thing you can apply it here. Same thing. Is there any difference? The same thing munafiqeen are asking us, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Why are you asking us, why are you crying? Those munafiqeen, when Yaqub alayhi salam would cry, those sons who throw Yusuf alayhi salam in the well, what they were saying? إنك لفي ضلال مبين. We see you going astray from the right path. You are في ضلال مبين. Why are you crying? You should not cry. Who is saying you should not cry? Those who try to kill Yusuf alayhi salam. So the killers always have objection on the person who is madloom, on who is crying on a madloom. So brothers and sisters, we should learn so much and you might have learned so many ayat, of course, many hadith. Use them. When you sit, talk about them. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam says, that you should always keep talking about Ahlul Bayt. Whenever you sit, whenever you talk to each other, talk about Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam. إن أحسن الحديث وبلغ الموعظة كتاب الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أوصيكم عباد الله ونفسي بتقوى الله. So the hadith I was referring, just I'm going to recite the hadith for you. So beautiful hadith from Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam. He's talking to his companion Fudail. He said, Fudail, do you sit together? أتجلسون أتتحدثون? You the followers of Ahlul Bayt, of course, the tyrants, they would never give them chance to sit together and do majalis openly. It was a time when it was taqiyya and everything, but Imam asking is still, even in these very hard situations and circumstances, do you get together and sit together? And not just sit and get together. No. أتجلسون? Do you sit together? وتتحدثون? And you talk about us. تتحدثون. Remember us, to say our hadith and remind each other about our ahadith and fada'il. Do you do this? He said, yes, Mawla, of course we do it. We do it in our houses secretly, but we sit and of course we talk. You know what Imam said? Imam said, Inni uhibbu tilkal majalis. I love those majalis. First he said tajlusun, then he said majalis. Majlis means assembly. Any place where you assemble and get together is called majlis. But since Aimma alayhi salam mostly use the word majalis, so this term of majalis is given by Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam for this. So these majalis. And whenever you sit, instead of talking about here and there and this and that, and he said this and he did this, and politics and things that Allah is not going to ask you about, things that you will never be asked in your qabr or in Qiyamah. Rather, Allah is going to ask you, why did you spend your time in this thing? And even if it is halal, even if it is halal, your time is important. You had something, you had opportunity to do something better than what you did. This time, 10 minutes, you use this 10 minutes in this activity, you had a better activity. You might be asked for this, because time is also something that Allah will ask you about. I will take accounts of time. Anfusakum wa amwalakum. Nafs, Allah has taken our nafs and our mal. He has purchased it. So our time, we have to, we will be held accountable for. Our money, Allah is going to ask us, where did you spend your $1, $2, $10? The same thing about 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes. So when you sit, use the time in tajlisun, tatahaddathun. Do you speak about Ahlul Bayt? Talk things that can, inshallah, help us in the day of judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase the tawfiqat of all mu'mineen, and may Allah accept all your ibadat, and especially your azadari in these months. And may Allah give us more tawfiq in coming years, inshallah, to mourn and do the aza of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, and learn and practice, inshallah, and preach the message of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu.